right, so today's video, we're going to be watching a Plat 2 support on PC playing Kiriko. And they say, hey, longtime viewer, I recently got back into Overwatch competitive after a break, but Vendetta called me back. I really liked playing them, but today I decided to try support as it was my main role before. Now, this game was crazy. It felt like I was doing well, but we just kept struggling. I have been trying things like taking off angles and holding space for the enemy so they don't push, but I don't think I did it right. In this long game where I tried super hard and sweat like nobody was watching, my tank had the audacity to say support diff. Was it a support diff? Was I soft throwing and had bad timing? I know I made some errors, especially during ult fights. Anyways, I hope you have a great day, and thank you for being so awesome. Your number, they said like million or trillion fan or something. I don't know what that number is, so I'm too dumb. Here we go. Let's enjoy. All right, so Kiriko, yeah, I mean, you can go for off angles, but you also need to make sure you pay attention to your team. I mean, this is the right idea. You don't need to look at your team right now. Yeah. Obviously, you know, you want to lead your shots a little bit more, but like, this is normal. You say, are we sure this is comp because Sombra's not banned? I feel like Sombra's been getting banned less. Again, doesn't mean it's still not a high percentage, but... Okay, yep. Keeping your team alive as much as you can. Throwing a cleanse during the cleanse time, and you go to take high ground control. So far, so good. Yep. This is normal, by the way. Like, Kiriko's doing this, chat, is normal. As long as your teammates are fine main and not falling over, like, this is a completely fine play. The pressure you're putting is good. You're constantly making them have to look at you. So far, so good. So far, so good. I will say, I want you to, if there's one thing you should practice, and this is something that I'm still working whenever I play Kiriko, the projectile speed. The projectile speed is extremely important, in my opinion. Like, as in understanding how fast it is. Sometimes I feel like I think it's slower than I think it is, and I end up missing my shots. But yes, so far, this is a good start. Just so you know, chat, like this, if you're wondering on Kiriko, as long as your team isn't like falling over in middle, like those angles are going to help your team more than you think. Even if your teammate ends up at 30% HP, you'll probably win the team fight. So, good start. Good start. That sounded like it was a good ultimate. Now, right there, you could have probably looked at your Domina, I will say. I think your vision was that you were... I think your vision here was that you were snowballing their team, but I would have looked there at least. Okay. 1v1 with Kiriko. So keep in mind, this is 2 Kirikos not in the team fight. You just lost the 1v1. Straight up. But as you can see, both of the Kirikos are understanding the script. You know, I've had people asking me for like a lot of like bronze like bingos and stuff. We don't get many bronze submissions, believe it or not. So we're always looking. It's just we don't get many submissions of it, from my understanding. So yeah, if you're a bronze player too, and you hear that, you know, we're always looking. Again, you're fine here. You could have taken top right control, but I understand why you're not, because you want to keep this angle. So far, you have a general understanding of what you're supposed to do in these spots. I think if you work on your projectile speed, like aim, I think you'll actually even be more effective. But so far, to your question of has it been a support diff, the answer is no. But keep in mind, this is a 26-minute game, so like anything can happen, but you have been a positive contribution to your team thus far. Yeah, I mean, again, thus far, I don't have too much to comment on outside of what I've already said. Again, I just want to pause for a second, just so I'm on the same page here. This seems like good gameplay thus far, right? I haven't seen anything here that's like super, like, you need to go do this. You're taking angles. Outside of that one moment where you didn't look at your Domina, you have been pretty good at paying attention to what's going on. Like, thus far, you're playing just fine. And just Kitsune this. Once you get to, you would want to Kitsune this pretty much when you get it, like when they're starting to engage. Like, as in, I'll tell you what. Be careful of taking the duel there. You hear the cast to the left. You don't want to die here when you have your Kitsune. Kitsune now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Main. Okay. So, chat, what mistake did the Kiriko make? Chat, the Fox doesn't go under the payload. So look how much room you got of the Kitsune. So people understand how Kitsune works. It goes as far as the wolf goes. Now there's a distance, a max distance. When you want to use your ultimates, you want to basically have it so the fox can go as far as it's allowed. I'll just show you very quickly just for the sake of showing you. Watch the Kiriko ult. Ready? See? So the Kiriko pops the ult. There's the fox. See the fox? And runs into the cart, and that's it. That's the distance of your Kitsune. That's what happened, and that's why your Kitsune wasn't as effective. Now, at the same time, the timing was... You using Kitsune was good there. Just want to point that part out. It felt like you might have hecked that part up. We'll see what happens, though. Your team should take this point. So, as clean as it gets. 3 minutes off the clock. Your team's rolling. Everything is fine thus far. I mean, look at the scoreboard. Look at the other Kiriko. Look at the damage they've done. So far, you're playing... This Kiriko stat line you have is what I see in top 500 with Kirikos. You have a good amount of healing. You recognize your other support can take care of a lot of the healing, and you bring damage to the fight. Their Kiriko has double your healing, but you have, like, double... Like, what, 5 times their damage, almost? Oh, is it your birthday, Todd? If so, happy birthday. I'm going to be real with you. Unless your monitor turns off the rest of this game, I don't see where the support diff happens. Again, we'll see, though. Maybe you just start to get too DPS heavy. But, like, thus far, you're playing Kiriko the way that you're supposed to play Kiriko. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, thus far, everything seems fine. Yeah, you're taking high ground. You're staying with the team. If there's one bit of feedback I want to give you, because you are doing this a couple times, but I think it's one of those moments of, like, you can get away with it against this team. I really want you to be kind of careful of falling into the habit of always relying on your cleanse. Like, right there, I don't think you needed to cleanse that. Now, my guess on the cleanse and the vision you had was, okay, they're starting to make their play. Let me cleanse to make sure we survive that. But I want you to kind of save it for the correct time. Would I recommend 6v6 or 5v5 for comp? I would say play whatever's more fun for you. If you're trying to be a pro player and you really want to be like what the pros are playing, 5v5. If that doesn't matter to you and you just like Overwatch, go with whatever's going to be more enjoyable. Good cleanse. Pop your ultimate. Yeah, Domina's going to... So, like, I don't know if your Domina's mad at you there, but your Domina's going to die regardless there. And, like, your Domina did a good job surviving as long as possible, and you did a good job trying to keep your Domino alive. So that whole sequence by both of you was just fine. Okay, bit of a... I want to talk about this for a second. One thing I want you to be careful of, and again, you're fine here, but do you notice how you set up over on the high ground over here? You were playing like they had no map control, but when they're all the way up here, you actually need to get out into rotation quicker. I would take advantage of this and just get a kill. You're going to be forced to TP here, and then you have to wait again to TP back here. So I want you to think of like a multi-layered approach here. If you need to get out of there before they start to make this play. The moment they're on these stairs, I think you do one pop shot and then get out of here. It's a small note, and you probably will get away with it, but it's something that you should look like, you know, just remember, okay? And you still go down. And why? Because you were out of position. So just something to look for, all right? Cleanse your teammate. Cleanse your teammate. You're playing so well, so I'm kind of like looking for things to kind of give you some advice on. And this is one of them, in my opinion. Why not just keep your Domina alive there? And you go, well, what do you mean? Like, you know, we're going to win the team fight. Everything's fine. Mercy just rezzed you. So let's say that one of their players on their team sees that the Domina on your team is low HP and you don't cleanse that purple. Well, guess what? Now you can't res your Domina. So if you were able to res the Domina, that makes a little bit more sense. You can get away with that. But because you were already revived, these are the moments where you can lose team fights if you let your teammate die there. Again, they're not dying there, but I want to get you in the habit of, if you get rezzed, you can then cleanse your Domina to keep them alive. Good Emrael. Bad cleanse. Yep. And that's what I was saying to you earlier, is I want to get you out of the habit of those cleanses, because guess what? Yep. You know they're going to alt stack, right? You know at this point in the game it's overtime. That is one of the habits that you really need to get out of, is using your Kitsune, not your Kitsune, your cleanse in the way that you're using it. You're not thinking about what that cooldown needs to be used for. You're just using it if, like, you take 12 damage. And yeah, that cleanse could have won the team fight. It's no guarantee, of course, because you're getting alt dumped, but, like, imagine a good cleanse with your alt charge right now. You survive the initial burst, now you have a Kitsune. The game might already be over. Either way, it happens. You lose a team fight, you reset. I've never seen two players so committed to the shoot at the same spot without... That was a game of chicken right there, by the way. Both of you decided just to shoot at the same spot and wait for one to move into it. Good Kitsune, by the way. Yep. That's fine. Now, if you're wondering, is cleansing yourself the correct play there? Yes, because at that point you have numbers, so they're not going to win. You just don't want to get traded on and have to reset. Back away. I missed that cleanse. I didn't see if it was good or bad, but I'm going to assume it was okay. If it wasn't, then, well, I guess we'll find out. I'll look in a second, Dave. And thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, this was just one of those... It seems like your team struggles when you get to overtime. Kitsune, 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 Kitsune. Don't Kitsune now. Wait, don't get too close. Grab. You need to start alt tracking. It's getting you killed. Like, remember earlier with the Reaper, right? Remember earlier with the Reaper where you just didn't think about the alts? Well, the same thing just happened to you. So, like, I think your ability usage at times is what you need to work on. Okay, just to kind of put a note there, all right? What's my best advice for alt tracking? You know, before getting too advanced, the first thing you want to do is a run-through of... Nice shots, by the way, even though they got... Yeah. You want to do, like, a run-through of, like, what haven't they used, right? And I think that's where you start, right? Like, let's say you can't keep track of their percentage. Start to think about, when was the last time they grabbed? When was the last time they Reaper ulted? When was the last... Like, when you start to think that way, you'll start to be able to alt track or at least understand that you might need to save your cooldown for something, right? Yeah, I mean, and you could ask anybody else, so, you know, what do they have? That's something else you can do. There's a lot of things that you can do. Yep. Watching kill cams can give you an idea, too, of, like, how to track ults. Like, maybe, like, okay, like, here's another thing to practice, okay? If you die to a hero before you look at the kill cam, try to guess their ult percentage. You've been, like, playing the game and the Reaper kills you. Go, okay, I think Reaper's at 80% ult. Watch the kill cam. The more accurate you get, and the closer you get to that, the easier it is. I would say, and again, obviously if you're in pro play, this would be a little bit different. In my opinion, the best way to go about it is to be within about 20% accuracy. If you think they have ultimate and they're at 80%, that's the best you can ask for in ranked, since you're not being fed info, right? Go Nasty, thank you for the 5 months of the Prime sub, thank you. Again, I think you're trying to lead with a cleanse as a way to protect your team, but like there's not... They're going to have ults coming up soon. Actually, yeah, you'll be fine. They have more ult. It would be nice to have the cleanse there. I actually think you thought you had a cleanse. You looked down to cleanse, and there was no cleanse. There's been a lot of good here from the Kiriko. And your tank saying that it was a support diff? No, I don't think so. You have a really good balance of healing and damage. It's pretty straightforward for like this type of gameplay. Yeah. Again, you cleanse, so you have no cleanse. Around. Good out. Yeah, that was a good out by Domina. Yeah, I think that's fine. Look for your team. I'm going to tell you right now, if you start just like learning how to like swift step out or not use your cleanse, you're going to be so much better on Kiriko. Like, your aim is great for off angles, and you have a really good understanding, but like your ability usage is what your problem is. I know why you cleansed that. Your vision was, uh-oh, I'm dropping from high ground. What if they look at me? Let me throw a cleanse. I think you're giving too much credit to the play there. They're not going to be able to kill you right away. Right? And if they do, holy crap, look at what their comp is, right? They're not running like some high damage comp either. You're going to be fine. You also have Swift Step. So I'm just saying, like, I want to get you out of this habit of just using your cleanse as like, just like a, like you just use, oh, I got cleanse, time to use it again. Nice shot there. Like right here, I can tell you're ready to cleanse. I know you're ready to do it. All right, Kitsune. Should have done that right away, but when you had it. Cleanse. Yep. That cleanse had to happen for your Domina. Like, there was no way you could deal with that. I really think you need to start thinking about your cleanses. That one makes sense because they're in the grab. But, like, even then, your Kitsune should have been on a second sooner. That Kitsune being a second sooner could be the difference between getting a cooldown up for your teammate. Getting the Domina shield up after the Domina shield. Like, just there's so many things that can help that, like, I think you don't think about that aspect of it as much, and that's fine. It takes time. Keep in mind, though, like, again, this is not all on you. Either your teammate lagged right there, or they were told to die on card, because I got no other explanation. You don't have to cleanse your Domina. Good kills. Nice shots. Good Kiriko aim. Good ult. Cleanse. Easy. All things considered, not a bad defense. Again, I wouldn't say that's all on you. I will say that you've made a couple of like mistakes on some of your plays. That I will say. Let's move on through and see how your attack goes. Nice shots there, by the way. That was awesome. Yep, got you. No worries. Oh, I know, yeah. Tomorrow, Thursday, Perceiving, you got this. I mean, listen, that one was on you. I've been there, though. Don't worry. We all miss those shots in those moments sometimes. It happens. I think here's your problem. I think you don't rely on Swift Step as much. And I don't know, maybe you're afraid since like the changes to like not cleansing on Swift Step, but like I really believe that you should learn to reposition with that more than you are when your team's in a safe spot. Of course, you're not going to TP into your back, the team's back line and get killed. But I do think that you're relying on the cleanse more, like way more than you should. I think you've gone into a habit of that. Like right there, your vision was to try to save your teammate, but you lost all control of your positioning. So when you go to do your heal, you're just trying to throw the cleanse. You're so, like, I think you're just like, yeah, it used to cleanse on Swift Step. Yes, they got rid of that now. Like this recent season, actually, I'm pretty sure, like maybe end of last season. But again, just something to keep note of, that like I think your gameplay loop seems to be more to rely on cleanse than it is to maneuver yourself around the map to reduce damage. Like right there, I can maybe be okay with that cleanse, but you still maybe had an option to get out too, right? Good kill. Nice job. They don't have a res, so any trade there is good for you. Clara, thank you for the prime sub. Appreciate it. Thank you. Good res. Good res. I was drinking my tea right there, but I was saying you can cleanse. Obviously, you can't do much about that. And if it makes you feel any better, you wouldn't have been able to cleanse that damage. So just have that be a reset and go again. But their team's playing well. I'm not telling them not to use it. I'm just saying I think they're relying too much on it. Team's going in. And yes, I did see the cleanser in the ultimate chat, but I felt like that was okay. Just trying to keep, you're trying to stay alive during a Kitsune. And you get your cooldown back quicker, so that's one moment where it's okay. Okay, everybody's chilling. Dash Dynamite kind of worth it? The cleanse, yeah, it depends. I think it depends, right? Like if you're at full HP, I might let it run for a little bit. But it depends. It's situational on that one. Okay, I think you were cleansing your Venture there, which I'm okay with. Yeah, you're fine. Nice shot. Venture's gonna need help. Top right. See, like, this is what I mean, by the way. Like, there's a world right there where you could have swift stepped to your Venture, threw a cleanse on the ground, and AoE'd it. The AoE from the cleanse would have probably gotten all 3 people. Instead, you only get 1 person. Your Venture stays low HP, not being able to follow up right away, and then you go into them anyway, and then end up doing the same thing. So, like, it's just little things like that. Yep, nice job surviving that. Obviously, there's a Mizuki left side, but you should be fine. You were behind a wall. You didn't have to do that. You'll be fine, though. It's overtime spawns. Looking at the stat lines. Wow, your team does have a good stat line. Look at that. That's a lot of everything. Okay, wait. You also have this problem. When things start to get a lot closer, I don't know why you're the one on the card here. You have a tank like Domino who can sit here. You should be up here. Like, why aren't you over here taking the angles and giving yourself opportunity to get kills as they walk in? This is the second time I've watched you just play too close to a Zarya, and then you get picked off. There's a positioning thing you have to work on, too, where I think you're going to start to lose track of what they have. And I think that's kind of where your problem resides here, is that you just kind of don't think about a couple of things they have. You kind of focus on what you have, and sometimes that kind of gets you killed. But what I will say, you didn't play bad at all. I don't really know what your tank was seeing that thought that you were like a problem there. I think you were fine. You didn't contribute to this loss. But I will say one thing you could have done is contributed to finishing the game earlier based off of a couple of plays. But no, this wasn't on you at all. Like, this was just a team effort game, and when it came down to the last fights, their team ulted better and positioning better. And that's that simple. I think for you, one thing I want you to focus on going forward is I want you to focus on like your ability usage. It's not the best right now. I want you to start thinking of a swift step as a way to reposition rather than cleanse as a way to survive. And I want you to think about your cleanses more because the aim's looking good. For the most part, the positioning's looking good. Think about what else they have. Stop running in front of grabs and Reaper ults. You have a good understanding of that, the off angles. Now, clean up the other part of your gameplay, and you're going to climb just like that. I'm telling you. Because good Kiriko gameplay goes a long way right now in top 500. So, like, I know you're in Plat 2, but the point I'm making is if you get good at Kiriko, you're going to start to skyrocket a lot more. So, focus on those things, and I think you'll have some good results, all right? You got this. You absolutely got this. If you like the video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube if you haven't, leave a comment. All of that helps. You want to submit your own spectating? My Discord is where to do that. And if you want to watch more gameplay, more reviews, more all of that, spectatings, etc., click this video right here on the side. It's going to be a good one. With that being said, hope you all have an amazing day/night.